Hello everyone! I'm going to share with you this wonderful holiday dessert, this cranberry apple cobbler. Today is a great day. It is my birthday and I cannot wait to share this wonderful holiday dessert with you. So first I'm going to be using 2 sticks of unsalted butter. Now if you only have salted butter on hand, that's fine. You can use that. And with the butter, you want the butter firm, but have a little bit of give to the butter. And when we get to that step, I'll share with you why that's going to be important. So for my 2 sticks of unsalted butter, I'm going to slice them into little pads of butter, and then I'm going to dice them down into small pea-sized pieces. Now, if you are new to my channel, I want to welcome you in. And if you're a returner, I want to thank you for coming back. My name is Dyvonne, and on my channel, I love to share what I cook and bake for my family in my kitchen, holiday recipes, old school family recipes that I have made with my mom and my aunties over the years. And so it is my pleasure to share my kitchen with you. So you see how I went on and I cut the pieces of butter up into like small, like pea-sized pieces. And so we're going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and cut that up with both of these sticks of butter, just like this. Now this recipe was one that I received as a gift in a recipe book when my husband and I were first married, and we've been married 30 years now, so quite a while ago this was a recipe that was shared with me through a recipe book, and it's one that I have made off and on throughout the years. Now at its heart, it is a dump cake recipe. And so we jazz it up for the holiday season. And so once I have my 2 sticks of butter, I'm going to use a large bowl, and in the bowl we're going to be putting some cake mix. And so this is a really simple recipe. If you have no baking skills at all, this is definitely one that you could still make, and it comes out so good. So I'm using 1 box of this box. I'm using is a 15.25 ounce box of golden butter cake mix. Okay, now you can use the 15.25 ounce box or the 13.25 ounce box. I've used them both, and you can also use yellow cake mix if you don't have the golden butter. So once I put the cake mix into the bowl, I'm using some cinnamon. This is a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, so 2/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then next we're also going to put in some ground nutmeg, and I'm putting in 1/4 teaspoon, so that's 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. We're also going to put that in with our cake mix. In the description box below, as well as at the end of the video, I'll give you a visual of all the ingredients that I used, and in the description box I'll have a list of the ingredients, but I'm going to share with you and show you how I take those ingredients and put them together to make this wonderful holiday dessert. So I'm adding in now the butter that we diced. We're going to add that in. And now with the butter that we diced, we're going to use a fork. If you have a pastry cutter, you can use that. You can also use 2 butter knives. And you just want to finish blending the butter in with the cake mix. Now the reason why we wanted to have a little bit of give to our firm pieces of butter, that's because we want to have that little bit of give, so when we mash our butter with the cake mix, it's just a little bit easier to blend. Now normally when I put in the nutmeg and the cinnamon to the cake mix, I blend those 2 around. This time I didn't. I got excited. This time I didn't, but as you see, this recipe really, it's very forgiving. And so go ahead and just mix that butter, cinnamon, cake mix, and nutmeg together. Now once I have it blended pretty good, I'm going to add in my pecans, and this is a 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. You can also use a 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts, and likewise you can leave the nuts out totally if you prefer. So I blend in my 1/2 cup of the chopped pecans. Just go ahead and blend those together. And it's important to note that you do want to have chunks of butter in your mix, because as those chunks of butter melt in the oven, it's going to help create a nice, beautiful golden crust. So in my 13x9 casserole dish, you do not want to butter or spray it. Okay, so do not butter or do not spray your casserole dish. This is 1 can of whole berry cranberry sauce. Go ahead and break that up a bit. And then to that, we're going to add some apple pie filling. So this is apple pie filling. This is a 20 ounce can. Depending on the brand, it might be a 21-ounce can. So either 20-ounce or 21-ounce can, either one of those. And so this is the apple pie filling. We're going to add that to our whole berry cranberry sauce that we also have in our 13x9 casserole dish. Now once you have, and you can also use peach pie filling, and you want to make sure it says pie filling that you're using in particular. And so once I have the whole cranberry sauce in and the apple pie filling, you want to go ahead and mix those two together. I leave the apple slices whole. I just go ahead and break up the chunks of cranberry sauce. I'm making sure that I have the cranberries and the apple slices evenly distributed throughout my dish. Now once I've done that, and I want to make sure that the bottom of my casserole dish is totally covered with either cranberry sauce or either with the apple slices. And this is what you want it to look like before you add your topping. I like to use my measuring cup for this part, and I scoop on our topping, our cake mix topping that we have all over. I make sure that I cover all of the filling with this cake mix mixture. Now while I'm doing this, I have my oven is preheating on 375 degrees, and so we're going to go ahead and bake this in our oven at 375, and it's going to bake for 40 to 50 minutes. Check it at about 30 minutes, 35 minutes to see how it's doing. It's done when around the edges it's going to get brown. Also the top is going to be nice and brown, and it's going to be hot, and it's going to be bubbly. And so those are the signs that you want to look for when your cobbler is all done. It's going to create a beautiful golden brown top crust. So I'm going to put this in my 375 oven for about 40 to 50 minutes. Well, my cobbler is out of the oven, y'all. It is looking good. It is smelling good. It baked up for 45 minutes. It is a nice golden brown on top, has created this wonderful crust. And you see how it's nice and bubbly? That's what you want to look for. Well, you'll see some of the cranberries have burst through and that nice golden brown crust. So I'm going to go ahead and serve us up some. I let this sit for about 10 minutes before I scooped any out because it was piping hot. So you do want to just let it settle for about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. And so I'm going to scoop us up some. I'm going to share the first bite with y'all. I'm also going to serve this with some nice vanilla ice cream. So you can serve it with ice cream. You can also serve it with nice fresh whipped cream. Now, if you'd like to make this dessert ahead of time, you go ahead and put your cranberry sauce and apple pie filling in your dish, in your casserole dish. Then in your bowl, mix up your cake mix mixture. Take those ingredients and you want to seal them in a Ziploc bag. You want to put everything in the refrigerator. Be sure to cover the cranberry sauce and apple pie filling. Cover that dish with either some foil or some plastic wrap. Then the next day, simply sprinkle the cake mix mixture on top and bake off your dessert. Well, I have topped it with some ice cream. I have this first bite. This bite is for you. It is looking good. It is smelling good. I got a little bit of the cranberry and the apple. Go ahead and take your bite. Now I'm going to take my bite and see how we did today. Oh my God, y'all. This is so good. This is one of those recipes that, you know what, I always end up going back to this time of year. I can whip it up in a snap. It's a great way to use those cans of cranberry sauce that we have left over usually from Thanksgiving. Well, that is it for me today. In the description box below, I'll also share some other holiday dessert and recipes for y'all. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free. And if you like this video, don't forget to show it some love, give it a thumbs up, and click share. Share this video with a friend or family. And these are the ingredients that I used. My whole berry cranberry sauce, my apple pie filling. I used the butter golden recipe cake mix, my butter, cinnamon, my nutmeg, and also those chopped pecans. And you can also use yellow cake mix. Well, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you and your family. And hit that notification bell so you can come back and visit me again in my kitchen. And remember, it's always good when Dyvonne is cooking for the family. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.